I think she's low-key traumatized. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would be not only traumatized, I would be Phoebe from Friends in the scene where she finds out about Monica and Chandler. And I'd be all like, oh, my eyes. And then after my eyes would get literally melted from the sight, I would literally need some therapy after that. Hi, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Jeffrey.
And welcome to So, What's Trending?
The bi-weekly podcast that brings
the sass, the spicy,
and the serious to lifestyle and entertainment news.
Yeah. We'll get it one day. It's okay.
It's cool.
It's cool. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to episode 6 of So, What's Trending? The bi-weekly podcast that brings the sass, the spicy, and the serious to lifestyle and entertainment news. I'm Anthony. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey. Woohoo!
And we're your co-hosts of So, What's Trending? I hope you're having a lovely day. How are you?
I'm icky right now. I'm going through allergies. You guys know it's allergy and cold season, so it's there, but we're here and we're gonna do this.
It is weird weather right now in LA. I don't know. And literally I woke up and it was like smog. And then throughout the day, it was just like foggy and smoggy. And then the day was ending. It was around 5 o'clock. And then the sun decided to shine out of nowhere.
They actually said it's tropical, right, for the next couple of days.
You know, I'm just trying to make the last days of summer count before we're going to hit fall. Even though I'm very excited for pumpkins and PSL and Halloween and all that stuff, it's going to be the weirdest weather in LA. But we kind of need it. I hope there's rain, even though I hate rain. It is something in which we are in a drought, people.
I'm so glad you hate rain too. But
I'm more of the person where it has to be a Saturday. I have to wake up. I have to have my coffee. And I won't mind looking out. But if it's like a Monday and I have to go to work, I'm like, oh, here we go. Yeah. I got to get my umbrella. So for those of you new to the podcast, every 2 weeks, me and my co-Jeff talk about the latest trending news stories that is going on in our world today, and we report it back to you with our unpopular opinions. If you are interested in what's trending, we highly encourage you to follow and subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts and YouTube, and to follow our social medias at So What's Trending podcast. That's at So What's Trending podcast. There we go, Anthony. I told Jeffrey before we started recording, I was like, I'm going to change it up. We're going to change up the format.
Yeah, I mean, it's always exciting. And you guys out there, you know, interact with us the most. If you like this format more than the other one, then let us know. You know, we'll try different things until we get it right and it feels right, and we're here for you guys as much as we're here for us.
Yeah, so the reason why I decided to change up the format a little bit is because, as y'all know, me and Jeff do everything. So when we were editing this, I literally took the time by myself to just listen to this all back. And I was listening to all of our like Instagram posts for the past few days. And I was like, I sound so like forced. And it's forced not in regards to like I'm trying to force myself to say it. It's forced kind of like, oh, I gotta say this right, I gotta say that right. But it kind of didn't sound like natural, you know. I was actually watching one of my favorite podcasts. The hosts are Grace Helbig and Mamrie Hart. I love them so much. I've been watching them since I was in high school. And they have a podcast called This Might Get Weird. And they just go with the flow. And then I was literally watching their latest episode and I was like, I need to go with the flow. I don't think I'm going with the flow. I think I've been getting better in regards to like trying to present the stories and presenting our segments, but I feel like I'm like over exaggerating a little bit sometimes. And I just really try to force myself to say things to sound politically correct. But at the same time, it's like, you really just need to take it easy. And that's what my co has been saying since day one. He's all like, that was good, but take it easy.
Oh, you're
Slow
good.
down.
Good. It's great. I mean, we're speaking from the heart, and it's a very difficult and sometimes scary thing to do. So we thank you guys for listening, and you're doing a great job. So
Thank you, Go. I try. You're doing an amazing job. My co is literally like my rock. He literally is like the balance to like keeping me calm, which if I'm not calm, then it's like I'm gonna go a little cray cray.
which
I'm
is
like calling him during work and I'm just like, Jeffrey, I'm freaking out right now. I don't know what to do.
which is like so crazy because I'm so like laid back sometimes, so I don't see the urgency in things sometimes because I'm just like, well, let me assess one thing at a time, let me process. But yeah,
Jeffrey's definitely the
so I
calmer
know people
of
get
the So
annoyed
What's
that like
Trending
someone could
host.
be like, there's a fire, and I'll be like, what do we need to do to to save ourselves from it?
While as I'm over here and I'm just like, oh my
Well,
God, there's a
everybody,
fire.
my family and friends are like, let's get out. I'm like, no, we have to assess the problem.
No,
Oh
Jeffrey's
my
gonna be the
God.
one to do that. And then I'm the one gonna be like, I'm too young to die.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. No, I get it. I feel bad sometimes because people are always like, you need to feel the urgency too, but balance is.
Yeah. We definitely balance each other out. So before we get started with today's episode, we always like to start off with a mental and psychological check as a way to keep ourselves mentally sane during these times of COVID, but also for you listeners to catch up on what's going on in our lives. So, Jeffrey, what has happened since the last time we chatted?
Ooh, maybe possibilities for new things. I'm not sure. And a lot of positivity, learning how to put that out there. And yeah, I'm also getting ready for my cousin's wedding, which is this Sunday. So I'm excited for that. I'm very, very, very excited for that.
So
And
exciting.
just working with that, just trying to find a middle ground to life and happiness and peace and success and stuff.
That's so amazing to hear. Yeah, so I'm on the same boat with Jeff. I actually attended a wedding this last weekend. Shout out to my friend Nikita. She got married, and the wedding was just simply gorgeous and beautiful. She had her wedding in the Big Bear Mountains. So that was very exciting. It was an outdoor wedding, and it was so beautiful. Her like you guys can like see in my social medias because I did post it. She was wearing this beautiful like tinted pink like quartz pink dress, and it was just so beautiful, and I cried a lot, and it was just something in which like I was just so honored to be there. I've been friends with her for 9 years, so it was something in which seeing her on such a special day and seeing our progress from ever since high school to now is a big, beautiful like cycle of like keeping in touch and keeping close. And I really do care for her. She's one of my like really good friends. So that happened. So that being said, we are so excited to get into today's episode. We have a lot to talk about, and we're going to get started with our first segment. So, what's trending? In this segment, we basically talk about what's trending and report it back to you with our unpopular opinions. So, it looks like Mike Richards is not having the best of days. So, that being said, Jeff, what is trending and what is going on?
Like you mentioned, Mike Richards, who is that, right? Exactly, who is that? I make a joke because now we know who he is for all the wrong reasons. He was executive producer and has been for a while of Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, and he was actually very convincingly enough talked to himself from all these. I mean, you guys remember where Alex Trebek, who sadly passed away from cancer this past year, they've been looking for his replacement and seeing a lot of different personalities and celebrities to see who can host. And he, as an executive producer, talked himself up and actually won the job over, because people kind of enjoyed his calmness. Right after that, as soon as he started filming, within the first week to 2 weeks, because they are going to air those episodes, FYI, so you guys can still see those coming up soon. They actually, people found out, there was this one, blog post editorial event that came out, and it actually outed him. And one of his old podcasts, he actually made many disheartening remarks about people with mental illness, Jewish people, sexist jokes, um, in this podcast, which was called The Random Show, but it was spelled like RANDUMB, so random. So all of this happens. People bombard this, they find out of all this stuff, and then the big thing happens. He does the thing, and he steps down himself. He was checking himself into all this kind of stuff so he can become a better person. And then Sony decided, why not just come out of the day, in the day of cancel culture. He was technically canceled by his own company, and they fired him for those remarks and putting them through that ringer of stuff. And so, what do you think about this whole event, this whole story?
Okay, first of all, I was just like everyone else. I was all like, who the heck is Mike Richards? Because I didn't know who he was at first. But then I
Thank
saw
you,
a photo. I saw a photo, and then I was like, wait, he looked so freaking familiar. Like I couldn't put my finger on it. And then I did some research. Some people may know because this was like back in like 2005 to like 2009. He hosted this one very, very popular show that I wish it could come back. It was called Beauty and the Geek. Do you remember that, Jeff?
Yes, that was during my
Oh my
time.
God. Okay, that's how I remember him. He was the host of Beauty and the Geek. So that's when I was like, oh, that guy. And then, of course, when I was in like high school and then getting into college, like, of course, the internet was born and all the episodes were put on the social medias and on the interweb. So that's how I watched because I knew he looked familiar. I was like, why do I feel like I saw you in some form of TV show, et cetera,
Exactly.
you know? For people who don't actually know, we actually posted this story on our social medias. I feel like this is a big learning lesson that is not really being taught to the generation of millennials, to Gen Z, to Generation Alpha upcoming, which is we now live in a society that once you make a post, once you make a statement, once you put a TikTok video, once you say a comment on a podcast, and it comes off as a way in which this can come back to bite you, it never truly goes away. It's always going to be on the internet. So when I saw this story, I saw it on Variety, it was something in which I just viewed it as a takeaway lesson, which I move forward with nowadays because I do blog and I am going to start doing TikToks. So it is very crucial for me to say it or type it in your head before you actually make said statement. Because I feel as though things that happen behind the scenes that could have been hidden under the rug, if he were to not say these comments in this podcast, there could be a chance. I'm not saying it's a high probability or low probability. I'm saying there's a 50-50 shot. He would still be a host and executive producer of Jeopardy and the executive producer of Wheel of Fortune. That's just personally me. I know that when Jeff, my he found out, I think you said you were a little bit like shocked, like a little bit astonished, correct?
I was, because the thing is, like, the way this article comes out, I wish I wrote it down somewhere, guys, and I can't find my note. But the way this editorial or blog or whatever it was came out and that outed what he said, quoted him, did all the stuff. Um, it was almost like people were. You almost have to sit there and technically almost reach for it. It's a very much reach. It's not. I mean, this is years ago. Years ago. It's not like it happened yesterday. It's a couple years ago. In the position of that person, you really have to be looking for something. I mean, when you say Mike Richards, it's not a household name. I mean, if it wasn't for Beauty and the Geek and actually him recently being either executive producer or host of Jeopardy, then we really would be who is this? And that's no offense to him. That's not downplaying who he is. I'm just saying in general. So it was a really weird thing. And that's why my post talked about I don't know what to say. And it wasn't that I didn't think his comments were wrong, because they're 100% wrong. I know it's not that I agree with him, because I don't agree with him at all. And I think it's like my co says, I really did say we have to be careful what we say now. People really like cancel culture is real, like it or not. It's here. I don't know if it's gonna stay, but I wish it was less cancel and it was more accountability for things, because I think it's hard to become what you do and whatever. I think and people are allowed to change, not everybody stays the same. I would like to think so, because there's things I've done in my past or said in my past that I can tell you 110%, not publicly, luckily enough, my past, that I'm not, I wouldn't say not proud of. I just don't think my mindset was that. Jeffrey, as an early 20-year-old, is different from now Jeffrey. Early Jeffrey was like, party time. New Jeff is like, let's look at the future. How's this affect me? How's it affect our family? It's a very different mindset. We grow as people and with age. Do I think he kind of deserved all this stuff? Yeah, in a sense, for a lesson. I hope it, I don't want to say it doesn't harm him too much. I hope he learned. And I'm gonna stay there, because I wouldn't know where to go beyond that. And I hope that makes sense.
Absolutely. No, yeah, I totally agree. I think I'm on the same boat with you, and I'm pretty sure everyone has had those moments, Jeff, in which we say things that we regret. We did things that we regret, because like you said, for me personally, 15, 16-year-old Anthony is way different than 23-year-old Anthony now.
Exactly.
And I've learned so much, So it really goes back to the takeaway lesson, which is you need to be careful nowadays with social media and technology and the way we're going with it.
Your past will follow you.
Your past will follow you. And, although you can never pretend the past didn't happen, what you can do is take accountability of your past in order to create a better future for yourself. So, we don't wish harm on Mike Richards. We just hope that he takes accountability of his actions, and moving forward, he understands that this is something that happened, and now he has to figure out, where can I go from here?
Yeah, I agree with that too. And I don't think he's that bad too. No, and what I really mean for that, it's like, sadly be told, I don't mean this in any disrespect either. He's a young white male who's gonna be fired, but is fired with the settlement that we're not gonna know about. So he does get a good chunk of money. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna wipe him just clean, because a lot of those stuff comes with contracts. That's the entertainment biz. And good thing we have this, because if you're fired for another reason that's not as bad as this, then at least there's things to live your life. People still have to live their lives. Yes, I mean, I'm guessing he has children and a wife, I guess. But yeah, so power to anybody that was offended by his comments, and I hope we can move on, and I hope he learned what he did.
Absolutely. We are more than happy to transition to our next topic, which is hot seats. So, in hot seats, we bring you the inside scoop of the latest celebrity report cards that are going on in Hollywood today and reported back to you. So, it looks like there is alleged allegations of Kanye and Kim back together. Apparently, after Kim wearing a wedding dress for Kanye's listening party. What is going on, Jeffrey?
A lot. It won't sound like a lot at first, but it's a lot. Over the last couple weekends, Kim and the kids have actually been supporting Kanye in Atlanta when he's selling out venues for his listening party for Donda, right? Which was his mother's name. The next album is going to be attributed to her and a lot of things in his life. And one of the songs he actually writes about is a relationship song about him and Kim and what they went through and how much he loves her. As you guys know, they've been going through an actual divorce. They're in the process of, but they both have been supporting each other, sending love, and actually Kim taking the kids to the listening party. But this last listening party, Kim wore for one of his songs and his performances a Balenciaga dress, and no one knew it was her, right? She had her long veil, she comes out gliding through, and people are like, is that her? And it's like, yes, it's her. Which has also sparked a lot of rumors on and off this that they're getting back together, because they have been supporting, but both of them have spoken out already. Of course, more Kim than Kanye, let's admit that. But Kim saying that they're just trying to co-parent and they were best friends before they got married, and they're trying to keep that relationship for their kids. I mean, even Kim admitted that she's not changing her last name. She wants to be known as Miss West because she is her kids have Kanye's last name, and she wants to make sure people know that she's their mother. And so it's an interesting kind of thing. And then Kanye's last romance, if you guys don't know, or so they say, I guess, allegedly, right? Does it seem, like this is a reconciliation, or is it not?
No.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
no. Well, here's the thing that happened over the past few days. There was actually new allegations that has come up, according to BuzzFeed News, that despite the pair appearing civil and supportive of one another publicly, there are actually some lyrics from the Donda album that hint a serious discontent behind the scenes of their 7-year marriage. So in his song, Lord, I Need You, Kanye hints that he questioned Kim's commitment and fidelity during their marriage with the lyrics, and I quote, 3 hours to get back from Palm Springs, huh? Who you know spend an hour in Walgreens, huh? The lyric seems to allude to Kanye being suspicious over whether Kim was telling the truth about where she'd been. Kris Jenner owns a home in Palm Springs, which Kim is known to make regular visits to from LA. There is also within those lyrics going into frustration with the lyrics saying, too many complaints made it hard for me to think. Would you shut up? I can't hear myself drink. And Kanye alludes to the demise of their sexual relationship in this song with the lyric, and I quote, we used to do the freak like 7 days a week. It's the best collab since Taco Bell and KFC. So, y'all, I see you people on Twitter saying like, are they getting back together? No. Kanye literally just shaded Kim. And can we not forget, like, Kanye had a little romance interest after Kim divorced. Like, I think it was on Variety or Page Six, that Kim was more than happy to participate for Kanye. But that's it. That's nothing more. It's totally normal for people, if you do divorce, to have this form of civilness after the divorce, unless the divorce just went so south, But there are some divorces out there where both parties are content and both parties can agree to some form of civilness. So I'm pretty sure Kim did this out of the kindness of her own heart. But do I think they're getting back together? No, not at all.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you 110%. As you said, Kim has already spoken out, and when they had beef, they had beef, and Kim like cried. She's like, I can't do this anymore.
We talked about it in past episodes.
Past episodes,
In keeping in their episode, Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
exactly, where she's basically like, I'm tired of this. I can't do this anymore. I can't, because as we know, sadly, or not, Kanye does deal with uh manic depression and bipolarism, and he's been very public about that because he's had things going with that. But yeah, and Kanye has said, I've never felt real whenever I'm with Kim, so I don't see it. But it's like Kim said, they were best friends before, and they were even best friends when she was married to other people. So there's still a lot of love there, but probably not in love. uh I I think you guys, like my co said, should really pay attention to the details sometimes. I know we love to love, and we all do, but they're just keeping positive for their kids, and I love that. More respect to both of them.
Absolutely. So, it looks like Kim is not the only one who is in high heat right now. It looks like Kourtney's ex is stirring up the pot. What is going on over in the Instagram DMs?
Ooh, and this has been everywhere. So it's a very exciting thing to talk about. So basically, Kourtney also speaks out about that, but we'll get to that in just a second. What happened is, I'm gonna get this right. Eunice bin Jima, who we know her, who was her younger boyfriend at that time. They were constantly together, shirtless, bikini, taking pictures everywhere, But as we know in the past from the last reunion show we had for the Kardashians, we know that the family and Scott Disick didn't like him at all. So it came as a surprise when he posted his actual DM that he got from Scott Disick. So Scott DMs her ex-boyfriend, allegedly, right? This is all allegedly. Yo, this chick, okay? Talking about Kourtney, of course. Bro, like, what is this? In the middle of Italy? And it's a picture of her laying on top of what the paparazzi have cast in a very intimate, on top of like a ship or rafter. In Italy, on top of her now boyfriend Travis Barker, of course from Blink 182 fame. So he reposted that. He said, keep the same energy you had about me publicly, privately. And he also said, he also wrote, PS, I'm not your bro. Don't call me bro. So that was a pretty good one. So all the parties pretty much, people are reaching out to Scott. Scott's not really speaking out. Eunice posted everything on his Instagram, basically, hinting. He posted that, and then he said, could have missed this one. He, who is Scott, been playing around for too long, tired to stay quiet and be the nice guy. Back to work now. And I guess he was on a run, and it says 10 km, kilometers or whatever. And so, yeah, that's what Scott posted to her ex, which, if you guys saw the reunion show, everybody publicly, her family, all the Kardashians, the mom, Chloe, Kim, they all said they didn't like Eunice. And then, Scott also said that too. So that's why he was like, well, you always talked about me private, publicly or whatever. It's a really weird scenario. What do you think about this situation? And then the actual question would be, why are two exes talking about each other, and why would one reach out to the other? What do you think about this, Co?
It's okay to feel a certain way about an ex. There are relationships that occur in which, like I said before, some relationships you find this form of a fine line of civilness. However, there is another fine line in which there will be people who will not tolerate seeing an ex happy, which is kind of sad because those individuals, like, I don't want to throw any tea, no shade, but I it's the last thing for me to wish harm on someone. According to a source that told People, she was surprised but not shocked. Scott had always had a difficult time accepting that Kourtney is happy with someone else. He is especially threatened by her relationship with Travis. So, I feel as though there's a lot of feelings that is definitely being kept in, and there's a lot of insecurities as well. Like I said, it's okay to have your opinion. Everyone has an opinion, but to go as far as DMing another one of Kourtney's ex, and an ex in which, in his eyes, for Eunice, like, you're not even cool with, nor do you have like some form of contentment of a acquaintanceship, so it's like, I think even Eunice, he even said, like, doesn't it said in the actual screenshot, doesn't matter to me as long as she's happy. PS, I ain't your bro. So why can't you be like Eunice? Why can't you just wish her happiness?
Exactly. I I don't get it. I was so confused because Scott, you got a girlfriend, and she's super much younger. She's baby, as we know. He's with Amelia. It was the daughter of famous, Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin, and they seem to be doing great. Why do you have to shoot down? If it would have been one of your friends and you would have sent that picture, it could have been more like, should I be concerned about this because the paparazzi is catching my ex with this? I'm worried about my kids. If that was the case, I would have been like, okay. But Scott, get it together. You should have committed to Kourtney a long time ago. All she wanted was marriage, and you couldn't even give her that. And when she wanted to, she actually helped you out when you were down and out and going through a lot of hardship. And and I'm sorry for all that, but at the same time, you guys together decided that it wasn't meant to be, but I'm pretty sure it was more you than her. But anyways, I don't know them. That's all alleged. But I would say Scott did get it together. Scott Disick, just focus on your own love life. I mean, you've already, this girl's already 19 years, or 20 something years, right? Younger than you. Shouldn't you be happy enough for you? You should be taking pictures like that too. I don't understand why we have to knock down other people, especially the mother of your children. I hope these are all alleged.
Well, the thing is that, can we even say it's alleged, Co? Because the screen grab kind of just tell
Yeah,
all tales. I understand that even though there are those after the relationship, after the breakup, you can find this form of contentment and this form of civilness and mutual like feelings towards your ex. But sadly, there is going to be relationships in which there is going to be, I don't want to say bad blood, but there's going to be things in which they feel as though there has been feelings that have not been said. Therefore, I need to let it be known. I think it's a low blow, first off, to reach out to another ex. It's another one where you're kind of like, oh, look at this, And then it was just an icing on the cake for Eunice to just say, as long as she's happy, PS, I ain't your bro. Like, you kind of just dug yourself in a grave, sadly.
yeah.
Like I said, it's okay to have your opinion, but I think next time just keep it to yourself. You don't need the world to know. Now, literally, how many hundreds, thousands, millions now know of what you did? And out of all the people you could have DM'd, you DM'd another ex who literally just wants nothing more but her happiness. Why? And he's like, how old is Eunice? Isn't he younger? He's like 20.
Yeah, he was 27.
27, 28. If he's wishing the best for his ex, you need to do the same thing. Even if you feel as though that there were things in the relationship in which you really can't get over, the minimum thing you could at least do is just say, I wish nothing more but your happiness and success in the future.
Exactly. I agree with you 110%.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like Amelia Gray is in a cusp of either being traumatized or seeing her parents skinny dipping in a hot tub as a cute little thing that they do. So, what is going on?
Whoa. Amelia Gray, that's Hamlin, right? So we were just talking about her. She recently posted a photo of a picture that Lisa Rinna sent her of her and her husband, or her mom and dad, who are skinny dipping in the hot tub at their cabin. And she wrote, totally traumatized, joking around. Um, you know, it's crazy that you're comfortable enough to share pictures of your hot tub, but this all comes after. It's their way of making peace. When Lisa Rinna was saying not so nice things about Scott too, and saying how she didn't agree with the relationship, now they're doing all better. And I think this was Amelia's way of saying, hey, let me embarrass you without embarrassing you. Like, this is my parents, and I understand you guys are my parents, and you guys are looking out for me. So it was an interesting post for sure. But they're both not, I mean, you can't see their full body. It's the hot tub, them leaking over with their arms and their heads taking the picture.
I think she's low-key traumatized. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would be not only traumatized, I would be Phoebe from Friends in the scene where she finds out about Monica and Chandler. And I'd be all like, oh, my eyes. And then after my eyes would get literally melted from the sight, I would literally need some therapy after that. I think I would low-key need therapy. I'd be all like, I cannot
Well,
unsee what I just saw.
I think I technically would too, but because I seen that picture is just, it's so PG, guys. You can't even, I mean, there's so much into the hot tub. It doesn't even bug me. There's not even the slide of like, oh, they're naked, other than their shoulders and whatever that they're showing off. It's literally like, their hands head over the edge of the thing. I think it's a cool way. I think it's I mean, it's not exactly like the best way, but I guess this, every relationship is different, and every parent child relationship is different, and this is the way they're all very comfortable and you know communicating this way, and more respect for that. I can't judge that. Maybe it's not our style for sure, but I get it. It's like the whole what's her name? Kelly Ripa and her husband, Mark Consuelos, who are always teasing their kids and posting thirst traps. I think it's hilarious. Like that. And we all know that, Lisa is a personality, and her daughter knows, her daughter knows that as well. And maybe it would be kind of like ill, but it's not like body shaming them. It's more like, ew, you're my parents. Ew.
That's my mom. That's my dad.
Yeah.
And on hot tub naked. How can I unsee that? You can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I will say that if you guys look at the picture, it's nothing harmful. It's totally PG. It's totally safe. And, I'm glad that they have peace, and I'm happy that at least Rinna and stuff are um her husband still have romance, and I'm happy that her daughter feels comfortable enough to share that, you know.
Absolutely. So it looks like Selena is going to be back on the television screens all over the country. And I am so excited. What is going on, Jeffrey?
So, guys, as we know, it's almost been a decade since she's been on uh, Wizards of Waverly's Wizards of Waverly's Place, excuse me, and
Wizards of Waverly
Waverly's
Place. Get
Place.
it right.
Tongue twister, and I love that show too, by the way. We
That
all loved
was
it.
my
It
show.
was so good. I had to rewatch it when it came back on Disney Plus. It's such a good show. And so she's back, and she's back as an adult. And not only is she back on television, but it's next to two legends, comedy legends, SNL and other stuff. Mark Twain winner, Stephen Martin, who's amazing writer and musician and everything, and man of many characters and many things. The wonderful um Martin Short, and we get to see her that, and watching them do all like the promo interviews and getting them to talk. They even joke around about Selena because she's way younger than them, getting to kind of, you know, kind of teach them about WAP, so has been kind of hilarious. But the show is on Hulu. It premiered on the 30th of August, so it's already out there. It's already playing. Guys, go watch it. It's called Only Murders in the Building. I'm going to repeat that so you guys can go and search it if it's not one of the first things you guys see. So it's a very new role for her. She gets to finally play an adult, someone her age. She's played all these roles, but I think nothing like this. I mean, there's like cussing in this show, which isn't much, right? Like, but it's different from what we've seen her. And there's, you know, things. It's a very dark comedy, and it's murder mystery. So we're left with a lot of questions and a lot of good things. I luckily am lucky that I've had the time to watch the first 3 episodes. Guys, the first 3 episodes are out, and it was good. I mean, I know the style of Steve Martin, and I know the style of Martin Short, and all the stuff they do is usually very slow, but it has a pace and a meaning, and it's always very highbrow. It's always very frou-frou, but you know, I enjoy them, and watching Selena be next to them has been a blast. It's the first time I'm not watching her be a little kid. I think when I've seen her in other characters, I'm always like, no, she's younger. Stop making her an adult. But she fits this role very much. And it's a very interesting story plot that they've given her. She's one of the main plot twists if you guys watch the show without spoiling anything. So guys should watch it. It's awesome.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. You know, she is now playing a mature role. She is not playing Alex Russo from Wizards of Waverly Place. She's playing Mabel. Honestly, I think it's a long time coming. I love Selena and her acting, you know, personally, you know, I grew up watching her. So really just seeing her act again was truly such a joy, you know. It was just something in which I was very happy to see once again. And I only got to watch episode 1, but hopefully I can watch the rest of the episodes as well. But I'm very excited to watch episode 2 and 3. And I am very excited to see potentially if Selena wants to take on maybe more roles, maybe in the future. Because I loved her in Wizard of Waverly Place. Like that was like my one of my many childhood TV shows. So the fact that she is back on the television screen, I think that's absolutely amazing.
Yes. Did you enjoy the show? I know the first episode's kind of slow, but it's something what I expect. If you guys watch things with Stephen Martin, that's usually his style. That's what he picks. It's very much what they do. So it feels right. But if not, I think it's something anybody can watch, even though it is TVMA because of the language and actually kind of head warning. And so yeah, but I enjoyed it, and I hope,
I did too.
yeah, and I hope they get credit, and I hope you guys watch. So thank you guys so much again. That's the show for today. We've made it. Episode 6, guys. We're here again. And I hope you guys got to learn what's trending out there. And if not, you guys learned a little bit more. And you really enjoyed this time with me and Anthony. Just make sure to go follow us at all our handles. Me and Anthony have our own. Anthony, what's yours again?
So you can follow me at Anthony Canapi. That's Anthony Canapi, Canapi. And you can follow my at
Jeff A. Valdivieso, which would also be in our podcast, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at So What's Trending podcast. So go search that up. We're out there. We're with you guys. And if you guys see anything or want to add, go ahead and comment. We do see those. We do read those and we encourage it. Keep them positive though, because you will be blocked. But other than that, share with your friends, share with everybody, share it on your stories or wherever you guys can. But once again, thank you guys so much for being here. It means a lot. Until next time, stay safe, everybody. Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.